Let's not
That
actually, because it's shit.
no, let's. I actually want you to have more of a blind response because I think again this is something you can answer mostly. But anyway, welcome back
Welcome
to
back,
another
indeed.
episode of Beyond the Bar Top. And well, today I want to discuss about this damn Netflix show which you recommended and did not watch yourself. Okay,
Bro, okay, first of all, it's not that exciting. Okay, the title was a sellout.
yeah.
Okay, I was like, hey, Shiv, Purana company, I look into this.
N- No, I contradict a little bit. I mean, initially, yes, I did find it boring, but the documentary on Netflix is boring. All
Hmm.
right, the case itself kind of got some good twists and turns to it.
It's still not resolved.
Yeah, it's still not
Uh,
resolved. Yeah, but anyway, I don't want to give away too much right at this beginning. But I want to start off just with a general idea, guys. I mean, go watch it on Netflix if you can finish all 3 episodes. Uh, you are patient as a human being.
you are eligible for a lucky draw that we'll be conducting soon.
The by Royal Caribbean.
Yes, powered
This is
powered
just
by Royal Caribbean. Amy Brady herself would be coming down to give it to you.
no, that's just. But anyway, the basic idea is chick goes on cruise
Yeah.
with her family. They got it by their company or something like that. And again, sorry, let me apologize if some of my identifications of the scenario or the of the story is not very accurate or sounding well. It's because I did not watch it on normal speed. It was 1.5x, and but moreover, I did a little bit of research over it on the side, and that's where my questions come up.
Okay.
Now, fact be told, everybody online is talking about the missing case and who's the person responsible and what should the company be. I want to take it from a more of a hotelier's perspective or for somebody from the industry who's worked on the ship, and that's where I want to actually base it off,
Okay.
right? Because that's what we do. So again, it's about a woman who went on a cruise with her family and kind of goes missing. I mean, that name kind of suggests that.
Finished all 3 episodes. You summarized. Ticket का पैसा waste.
This is, yeah, actually, yeah, no need for subscription. That was it. That was the the gist of the story. But anyway, so somewhere around 1998, like which is a very long time ago, uh, the chick goes missing. Family is still searching her till date. I think somewhere in 2013, she was officially declared dead.
Oh,
Which why you laughing, man?
stop,
This
bro. I mean, at this point, you give up.
no, I'm trying to do it for the listeners so they have like an idea,
Achha,
right? Like
okay.
that's what it is. I mean, I'm not going to put in pictures and videos right now of the episode, but that's the kind of gist of it.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, context. A lot of people are accused over this whole documentary. All right. You have the musician that's accused. You have some random strangers accused. The person staying in the next cabin accused. Director of the cruise accused. Like, okay, a lot of everybody's put as a suspect in the damn documentary, which I'm like, it's just for documentary sake. All right. Now, bringing about, I noted down some questions. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, everybody's claiming things like they've seen her even after that, and I want to get to that part because that's where the whole conclusion is. But for somebody like yourself who's been on the cruise, what is the protocol when somebody goes missing? Like, I know the protocol is like they have like a bomb search, like a protocol the way they search in 1 hour. You have to search every crew member
Yeah.
searches their section,
Yeah.
and they got to do shit like that.
Hmm.
Okay, I get that, but when somebody reports somebody missing, what's going through the crew's head? Like, say you're passing by on the galley, and hey, Abhi, my daughter's been missing since yesterday. Where is she? What's your move?
Simple. 2 questions. Is she above 18? Is she hot?
That thing.
No, 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 no. That's not what you do.
to answer your question, yes, she was above 18. She was 23, and um, by that time frame, I would say, yeah, kind of hot. I mean,
It's
for
disgusting.
all
That's
we,
how you speak about your own daughter. But no, sorry.
yeah, I walked into that one.
Don't,
Yeah,
don't walk into that one. I'm just being a dick at this point. But yeah, so if somebody goes missing, there are a few things that they do. Obviously, one, what you mentioned earlier, the crew are given their muster station where they're designated. In case of an emergency, they're designated a particular station, a section,
hmm
as opposed to go search over there. And at the same time, if they happen to go missing from the open deck, it's easily the rooftop of the ship or the it's always like a running track in between of a ship. So it's an open deck. You
yeah,
can smoke over there. You can run, jog up to you. So usually that's where the railing is. So there could be tendency that somebody has fallen overboard. The protocol is very different if someone falls overboard because then there is a man overboard signal that goes into play, and there's a person designated who's supposed to watch that particular section that they fell in. It
hmm
might sound very stupid, but it does help to see any signs of movement, which is very unlikely
yeah.
because the turbines are so strong that you're going to just get sucked in, rather. But
At least you get to know what's there for breakfast. Are we going to have mince for breakfast the next day?
for the whales, yes. But
Yeah, well,
if you ever
yeah, that's what I
fall,
meant.
if you do ever fall overboard on a ship, preferably fall to the sides, greater chances for you to survive.
I don't think anybody kind of intentionally seeking to fall over there.
Or in case you plan to throw somebody overboard, throw them on the forward, not the aft. Greater chance of them
Oh,
not making it. Turbines
oh,
suck you in. You don't really.
actually, that was one of my questions, though. That does come later, but since you already mentioned,
Yeah.
uh, the crew was suspect. All right.
Hmm.
So now the crew was claiming that, oh, this girl was particularly being flirted with a lot by a lot of different crew members, like the wait staff, musician. I don't know, trying to. They made, like I said, they made it sound like she was the hottest chick on board, so I went along with it. So 23, and yes, hot. Okay. Now, uh, say you are a little bit of a psychopath.
Yeah, the pause.
Yeah. I mean, you already there, or you want to take some time to get there mentally?
I'm there, I'm there.
Okay. So let's say the case,
Yeah.
and you want to say cause harm to this person. All right. Now, being somebody who knows the in and out of the ship because you do, what do you think is the most efficient way for firstly? Then I know it sounds like we are giving a training on how to get away with murder at this point, but no, I want the perspective like because for security purposes you have to know possibilities.
Yeah.
So in that for educational purposes. So if you want to have somebody harmed or disappeared, so say I want them killed, like you mentioned, I want to I can't use the word kill on YouTube or something, can I? Or
Assist
any other
in
platform.
executing them.
Yes, say you want to have them absent permanently. You throw them ahead of the ship,
Yeah.
right? So that they pass through turbine, whatever,
Yep,
you
yep.
don't find them, or so on and so forth. Say you wanted to sexually assault somebody. I don't think I'm allowed to say sexually assault
But I
here.
don't want to
We're
either.
gonna beep that. So just say SA somebody, SA somebody, uh, and you want to kind of abduct them. I think we've just gone with
Yeah.
abduct. We didn't have
Are
to
you
go
making
SA.
sure I go to prison?
No, no, no. Just for education. Say you want to abduct somebody because now on a cruise they say it's a city in the water,
Yeah.
but nonetheless it's a confined city, right? So you want to abduct somebody.
Mm.
How do you do that? Because when you dock, when you're gonna get into place, and even if you do dock, I mean, there's a scanning that goes, so people are recorded on the boat and everything.
Yep.
So how do you go about that?
See, I'm assuming it was a lot easier to do it back in 98 than it is today because, again, the entire place is under surveillance at all times. There's a designated security team that sits on board. There are the ones that patrol, but there is a designated team that sits in their control center and monitors every aspect of the ship. So much so, even the periphery around the ship, like the the waters around, for
Okay.
various reasons, there could be an intruder, your pirates, and all of that. Again, it's not very common, but better safe than
Happens.
sorry. So
True.
everything is taken under control. Your back areas are constantly monitored. There's CCTV footages in your galley. The galley is the kitchens. It's everywhere. It's almost impossible to have a blind spot or a corridor where you could successfully abduct anybody. The only places that don't have CCTV footage at all times is your cabins, where the crew lives.
Okay.
Those are the only areas that don't have CCTV footage.
Exactly.
Again,
So,
because it's a
say
private
for
space.
example,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I get it. I completely understand that because, uh, say for example, you do pick up a person,
Mhm.
you decide them to make them foldable in a suitcase. Does your suitcase get scanned
Yeah.
upon departure,
Yep.
loading?
At all times.
It,
Anything that
it
gets
does.
on the ship and exits the ship is scanned, whether that be the crew or the guest, even the captain of the vessel. Everybody's stuff is scanned through.
Yeah, would that be in back in '98? Would they be scanning ship?
I doubt that would be so stringent.
I mean, we did have
Yeah, of
scan
course. We
machines back
did
then.
have, but it was not regulated to this degree. Right? Like I can recall my parents, my grandparents saying stuff like going to the airport, you could literally go and see if somebody really close to the plane. You
Yeah.
you can't do that today. It's the same logic that applies even to cruise vessels.
Okay.
There is security on board. Again, they're not unarmed. They are taught and they are most of them are ex-army. So they are
Okay.
brilliant at hand-to-hand combat, but there is no weapons that they possess. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
But again, there is security protocols that don't really let you abduct anybody. Yeah, there could be accidents. People are still fall overboard. I've
Mm-hmm.
seen it. I mean, I've not seen somebody fall, but I've been on the vessel while that has happened. But again, that is due to their own negligence. It's due to alcohol, being drunk throughout the day, and yeah, multiple factors. They end up losing big bucks in the gambling in the casino while gambling.
Jump.
So abduction, not really, but accidents where someone falls overboard or of that degree, yeah, does happen to this day.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now, because now I'm coming to the, I'm actually going to be summarizing the part of which is,
Okay.
so the thing is the documentary indicates, or the even the news channel, and there's actually a website called amybradleymissing.com or ismissing.com. I checked that too. So speculations
Yeah.
are abundant. But the most prominent theory what people are giving out is trafficking. All right.
Okay.
And putting it together in some format is the musician of the band, okay, might be a handler or a peddler of sorts. So if a beautiful woman comes on board or a young woman comes on board, somebody who's naive, eligible,
Hmm.
uh, the kind of hint that somebody, you know, interact with her and either threaten her or mislead her out of the ship, and voila, you're missing.
Oh.
Next thing you know, you're found in 2005, I think, on a solicitation website.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what the thing is. They actually found a lookalike, or exactly her. Apparently, as per the website, FBI verified, it is a picture of the same lady from 2005 on a basically prostitution website.
Yeah. We'll link to that.
And yeah, which was, and that's the thing, was a fun. I didn't hear what you said. What the hell did you
I
say?
asked you a link to the website.
Uh, I do. The server is down. I checked for education
Yeah,
purposes.
exactly. For that reason, what else would I need it
It was
for?
just research. But no, I did take a look. It is down. The website, whatever allegedly, is down. Or maybe from where I am, I can't access it. Maybe I need a VPN. God
Okay.
knows. Besides the point, uh, they did find a picture of hers, and then they started putting pieces together. So there are two guys. There are descriptions of two men who were seen interacting with her, apart from the band member. All right, and those people are still on search. But one of the description fits the look of a guy who owns a company. It's called basically, I think, adultvacations.com or something like that. Now, I knew sex tourism existed. Okay, then this is just a sorry sidetrack. I knew sex tourism existed. I have been a hotelier for I think 15 years almost now or plus, give or take. I never knew there were travel agencies for sex tourism. I did not, and we did research on
Yeah, we
travel
did.
agencies back in the day.
We
Yeah,
needed
that was
to.
that was our thesis. So there are travel agencies for sex tourism, particularly. So they have the agency itself has contact with the prostitution hubs and places where
Hmm.
mostly sex tourism is legal
Okay,
because this is a proper paperwork company.
understood.
All right. Now, how far are the women over there on their own free will? That depends on the country they're located in and all that stuff. But again, that's the nitty gritties. But so it was on one of these kind of websites. This girl was found, and the location of this hotel where they saw her last was also owned by the same company.
Hmm.
But because it's in another country, the Americans can't prosecute or extradite. And
Oh,
there goes my next question. In your time
yeah.
at sea, is this a concept you heard of where
No,
people were involved in illegal activities? So, where the crew would be a part of, say, pushing drugs or pushing women.
no neither. No weapons. Sorry, not drugs or women. It was weapons. I there was
Well, I
this.
wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it was this incident where this. I mean, this the ship I was on was quite famous because it was one of the smallest in the fleet and
Okay.
could travel to Cuba, which was an unexplored market back then.
All right.
And I'll just cut the details because I don't think it should be too apt to share. However, there was an Indonesian crew member who was a very silent guy, would barely ever speak to anybody other than work. Not
Mm-hmm.
really, you won't really see him in the crew bar or the recreational zone, whatever. Would always keep to himself. Long story short, he would make sure he was always out in Cuba. Whenever we were in Havana, he would always be out.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out about a month or two goes by, and he was in the adjacent room to mine.
Mm-hmm.
We had just docked in Miami, and then I step out, and there's this two Belgian Malinois staring at me, and I was like, "This is weird." Turns out the cops had come by to pick him up, and turns out they'd been tipped off where he was helping source militants, or rather supply money and militants to people back home in Indonesia. And then
Oh,
the link sort of made sense because, Cuba, communist nation, they don't really need the money.
no, no, I
But
expect that, but
what was twisted in his story was we were told that he was having some internal connects. That is the reason he's been deported. I'm like, okay, fair, he's
uh,
deported. Great.
okay,
Okay.
that's the official answer given.
The locals will take the necessary actions. However, about 2, 3 cruises later, another Indonesian signs on who was this guy's neighbor from back home.
Yeah.
So you were like, "So, how's this guy? Is everything fine? I hope, things are being dealt reasonably well with him back home." And he's like, "What are you guys on about? He never reached for us." So I'm like, "Oh, shit."
Oh,
So yeah, we were told that he was deported. Clearly, he just remains in US land. But
somewhere, yeah,
that
possible,
that was one
possible.
incident that I got to see upfront. But it does happen. Like, I don't know about this sex tourism thing happening on board. It would happen on land. Like, depending on the
Yeah, no,
ports
no.
we went to, especially the
Again,
poorer
no,
countries.
because I mean, it's a stereotype and a cliche, and obviously does hold some truth. Where they say that people who work on ships
Mm.
usually indulge in not prostitution, but in sex tourism as such. Because when you're on sea, like whether you're working on an oil rig or even on the cruise for that matter,
Yeah.
depends on the length of the cruise. People tend to once you get on land, you know where to find women,
Yeah.
purchasable. But
Yeah. That was quite common depending on the countries you visited. But I don't think, at least in my time there, I didn't see anybody try to like sell anybody or do something crazy where you're trying to, I don't know, export a guest.
No, I think that's a good Liam Neeson movie coming up with that one. I mean, you can just picture it of, so, Liam Neeson takes his family on the ship this time. She talks to the musician on the bar, and next thing you know, she's like, "Let me show you Barbados, sister, please."
She ends up in
And
Baghdad.
Taken five or six, or whichever Taken's up with it, is up next. Jokes apart, I mean, that's kind of the whole rift of it.
Yeah.
That this girl she went missing the night before. She was last seen talking to the musician, and he went to him into his room, but nobody's when he came out, because apparently only the swipe ins are accounted for, but when you exit the room, there's no tracking for it.
When you exit the ship.
So
Yeah, yeah,
no, for the rooms, like even
yeah.
the room key cards,
Yeah.
you can track only when you're swiping in. Back in '98,
Okay.
now maybe there's different, but back in '98 you could only check. That's why. So they said that okay, he did go to his room at 1 a.m. or some 2 a.m., something like that,
Okay.
but we cannot account for if he left the room after that,
Oh, okay.
because it's around that time frame this chick goes missing. And they stopped at Barbados or Curacao, like in that two regions, and her sightings are from there, and that's where it is. And so allegedly she's been trafficked. People don't know where she is. Declared dead. It's 25, 26 years, 27 years, something like that ago. And there was this one interview was seeing over YouTube with like an American channel interviewing like a private detective, and this guy is kind of brutally honest, but he's like, no, when these women get, and I mean, it's true, like jokes apart, like for 5 seconds, no jokes, it's true that okay, you get trafficked. This is like okay, if she gets trafficked at a certain age, she's got a good maybe 4 or 5 years. Next thing you know, they shoot her and dump her. And I'm like, motherfucker just said that like he just tossed a bag of ramen somewhere in the ocean. Like, I didn't like it. It's done, expired. And he's like, yeah. So he's like, the fact that you can see her picture in 2005, that means she was a high earner. And I'm like,
Oh my
damn,
God.
that's kind of hard. Like, imagine her parents looking at that shit and going, yep, that's my girl.
I'm wondering, did they add her name in nominees list or not?
That,
Just go hell at this point.
but yeah, that was my thing, because in my head, I'm like, uh, if I'm on a boat, okay, as
Okay,
a
first of all,
guest,
stop being American. Stop calling it a boat. A boat is something that you go fishing in.
oh,
It's a full-sized vessel. Okay, it's
okay,
a ship. It's a small
if I'm
township.
on the vessel, damn it, whatever, I'm on a floating object with another 1,000, 3,000. I don't know what's the capacity like. 20,000 people,
The largest currently is 8,000.
8,000. Okay, fine. I overshot. But okay, so 8,000 people on board, and if I'm traveling, I expect some sort of safety, right?
Yeah,
But it is virtually not impossible, but extremely difficult to locate a
yeah.
personnel when they're gone missing on board. There's a billion places. That radius gets only wider when they dock, because now you have docked into another territory where you're probably not legalized to go beyond a certain point, because
Yep.
passport and visa and all that shit.
Yeah.
So you kind of can easily just traffic yourself. You're like,
Like,
oops, I crossed the line. Let me see you over here, and nobody can do anything. And in a place where no extradition exists, you're fucked.
yep. Very, very accurate. See, on the ship,
That,
you still like what you were mentioning earlier, the security. It's quite tight. There's no way for you to really do something stupid unless you do it yourself. Like no one really can harm you that way. But the moment you step off the ship, there are certain guidelines depending on the port you go to. Like there are some places with higher friction, like let's say most of Mexico is anyway, handled by the cartel. So there are
okay,
only certain spots in Mexico that a ship can dock again because tourism brings in money. So
yes,
there is your
exactly.
Costa Maya, Cozumel, and Acapulco. There are a few
I
places,
think that would be
but
protected by the cartel itself,
yeah,
if
exactly.
it was.
But the cartel makes it very clear that this is all the region that you get for your tourism and for your holiday. Do not
Okay.
step the line.
Hmm.
There are a few adventurous, and especially the ones who want live vlogging and creating content and like just shooting. videos, they end up getting shot.
Yeah, a shoot for a shoot.
Yeah, I
मार
mean,
के चूत
the first time I got
That's
up, I
the
mean, it's a really long story. I'll tell it to you some other time. But
yeah.
yeah, it happens.
But
Okay. I mean,
but
there
yeah,
are
okay, fine. I
regulations,
mean,
so stick by
the
it.
no, but yeah. No, but thank you for sharing that. I mean,
Oh, greatly.
next time we do get on a cruise, don't fuck around because you will find out. And I mean, really.
Really.
But yeah, this was like a few things. Just I was watching the shit out and looking into the story, and I'm like, okay, so it is possible to go missing,
Yeah.
quite literally. Like I mean, as this girl testifies, but
Before.
it requires
Huh?
effort. It's not something that can happen
Yeah,
accidentally.
exactly.
Like
It's
because
your own
if
doings.
somebody caught me, you start screaming, and I bet you somebody is going to get the ship's a pretty close knit area.
Yeah.
You don't really have isolation the way you would on land,
Correct. Correct.
right?
Correct.
So you have to be there, and security, like you said, is tight. So you kind of have to either get scammed into it or
Hmm.
drugged out of it.
Yeah.
I bet you, but even the sorry, one last question on the if I fold somebody in a suitcase,
Don't do it.
but I'm not in final destination,
What
I'm
is
just
this?
on the
You
like
are
a
you're on a cruise with a contortionist.
I don't know. I'm just trying to say because the most convenient way is to put somebody in a suitcase, right? That's the most discreet way, rather non-suspicious way. When you're docking in the middle of like middle stop, I don't know what's the term for it, but it's not final destination.
Ah, okay.
Is my bag checked that time?
If you take it off the ship, yeah,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
take.
So
It is
so some
conspicuous, right? Like, bro, first of all, for you to do the chopping bit, you're going to need some industrial tools.
true true. Let's say I have those. Let's for the sake of the argument, I have a chainsaw in my backpack, and I was allowed to bring it on board. So let's just say for sake of argument,
Okay.
okay. But so you're telling me that even if I take a suitcase out in the middle dock, uh,
Oh, actually,
on
yeah, good
land,
question. They won't. They check
they
the
won't.
crew. They check the crew's baggage. Like we
Yeah,
would usually take like a backpack or something, maybe with my an iPad or a tablet, so whatever I
yeah,
have with me. Uh, but the guest backpack was never really checked.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's only
another
checked
thing.
when you bought it on board. Usually because most guests like get off at ports and bring alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol or they
And
bring some
so,
illegal substance. But when I'm board taking off boat, or sorry, the vessel,
hmm.
it's not gonna get checked.
No, but pro tip: don't take out the entire body in one go. Like maybe divide it into different
Ah,
ports.
okay, yeah,
Because
so
one
it's
whole
easier to carry.
suitcase, everyone's going to be watching. You take it in a backpack,
That's a lot of backpack carrying.
you're going to get into so much trouble if someone actually goes missing. And they're like,
No,
we took advice from those two guys on how to dispose of body.
no. We are trying to help the authorities that this is possible in different ways.
Yeah, there's a security loop, guys.
Yeah,
Look into it.
there are ways around it. But okay, I mean that brings us to the end. I mean I found out what I want to know, and I said might as well do this on cam because I bet I'm not the only one who had these questions.
There's someone
Because yeah,
taking notes.
it's. I mean all the guys interviewed on the documentary were
Yeah,
all being professional or trying to show off, or give some backstory and unnecessary bullshit. I'm
yeah.
like, no, no. Tell me, what were you doing at the night between 3 to 4 a.m.? Where were you? Which grandma were you fucking that night? This is it. And this guy was. He said that. He's like, grandmas loved me. I said, okay, whatever, man. Anyway, fuck that noise. Anyway, subscribe, like, and if you have questions,
About
feel free
hiding
to ask.
bodies.
I definitely want to know more possibilities, which is not on the usual forms.
Makes
But yeah,
sense.
thanks again, man.